He took the blows for her daughter. Now the alien mother claims him. Tall towers of smooth alien metal rose from the ground like silent watchers, their surfaces reflecting no warmth. This world did not belong to humans anymore. Humans only lived on it because they were allowed to. Rows of workers stood in silence at the central square. Their clothes were plain. Their eyes were tired. They knew the rules well. Do not speak, do not interfere, do not draw attention. Punishments were not meant to injure. They were meant to teach fear. On this day, a small alien child stood alone in the center of the square. She was barely taller than a human child, her skin a soft blue shade that changed color when she felt emotions. Right now, it was pale with fear. Her large eyes looked around, searching for anyone to help her. The overseers spoke in calm, emotionless tones. The child had touched a restricted device. She did not understand what it was, but understanding was not required. Lessons were public. Among the humans stood a man named Elias. He was not special. He was not strong compared to others. His back was slightly bent from years of labor. His hands were rough, his face marked by quiet endurance. Like the rest, he had learned to survive by staying invisible. But when Elias saw the child shaking, something inside him shifted. He noticed her hands. They were too small to hide her fear. He noticed how she tried to be brave, lifting her chin even as her skin color faded more. The crowd remained silent. They always did. The overseers raised their staffs not as weapons but as symbols of authority. The punishment would begin soon. It would be brief, controlled, enough to leave a memory that would never fade. Elias took one step forward. Gasps rippled through the human crowd. A single step was already too much. Another step followed. The overseers turned, surprised. Humans never moved without command. They never volunteered. Elias stopped between the child and the overseers. He did not shout. He did not raise his hands. He simply stood there. The square fell into deep silence. The overseers studied him, their eyes glowing faintly as they assessed the situation. One of them spoke, asking why he had left his place. Elias swallowed. His voice was calm, even though his heart was racing. She didn't know, he said simply. That answer was not acceptable. Knowledge was irrelevant. The overseer warned him to move aside. Elias shook his head. The child looked up at him, confused. She did not understand why the human was there, only that he was blocking the cold figures in front of her. The overseer explained the consequence of refusal. Elias listened without interrupting. When the explanation ended, Elias spoke again. "Then punish me." The words echoed across the square. Humans had begged before. Humans had cried. Humans had pleaded for mercy. But they had never offered themselves. The overseers hesitated. Their laws did not forbid substitution, but neither did they encourage it. This moment was not written into their procedures. The punishment began. It was not violent. It was controlled. A test of endurance and humiliation meant to break spirit, not body. Elias remained standing. He did not cry out. He did not fall. He focused on one thing only, keeping the child behind him. She pressed herself against his back, trembling. Slowly her skin color changed, not from fear but confusion. Why was he still standing? Why was he doing this? The human crowd watched with wide eyes. Fear mixed with something long forgotten, hope. Time passed. No one spoke. At the edge of the square, a sleek alien transport landed silently. From it stepped the child's mother. She was tall, elegant, her presence commanding immediate respect. Symbols of rank shimmered on her attire. Conversations died the moment she appeared. She took in the scene instantly. Her daughter, the human, the circle of overseers, her eyes narrowed not in anger but in disbelief. She demanded an explanation. The overseers spoke quickly, explaining the child's mistake and the human's interference. They expected approval. They did not receive it. The mother watched Elias carefully. She saw how his body trembled slightly, not from fear but exhaustion. She saw how he still refused to move, even now. Her daughter stepped forward from behind him, holding the edge of his worn clothing. The mother's breath caught. This was not how things were supposed to be. Humans were obedient, useful, replaceable. Yet here one stood, refusing to move for someone who was not even his own kind. The punishment ended. Elias dropped to one knee but did not collapse. He turned his head slightly, checking on the child before anything else. "She's okay," he whispered, more to himself than anyone. The mother felt something twist inside her chest. It was not gratitude. It was not anger. It was shame. She stepped forward. The square waited. "Take the human," she ordered. Fear surged through the human crowd. "Gently," she added. The overseers hesitated again, but obeyed. As Elias was helped to his feet, he looked up and met the alien mother's gaze. He did not challenge her. He did not beg. He only looked tired. Her daughter ran to her side, clutching her hand tightly. "That human protected me," the child said softly. The mother placed a hand on her daughter's head, eyes never leaving Elias. "Yes," she replied quietly. "I saw." Elias was led away, not to punishment chambers, but toward a place no human had ever entered by choice. The square slowly returned to order, but something had changed. The humans whispered that night. The aliens watched more carefully. And the alien mother, alone in her chamber later, could not stop thinking about one question. Why would a human choose pain for someone who was never his responsibility? That question refused to let her sleep. Elias expected pain when he woke up. He expected cold metal, restraints, and harsh light. That was how human discipline always began. Instead, he felt warmth. Soft fabric rested beneath him. The air was clean and calm. For a moment, Elias thought he was dreaming. His eyes opened slowly. The ceiling above him was smooth and curved, glowing faintly with a gentle blue light. It was not a prison cell. Elias tried to sit up, but his body protested. He had given more strength than he realized. Still, no restraints held him. That alone made his heart beat faster. A quiet sound came from the corner of the room. A tall figure stood there watching him. The alien mother. She stepped forward when she saw his eyes open. Her expression was controlled, but her gaze was sharp and curious, like someone studying a puzzle that should not exist. "You are awake," she said calmly. Elias swallowed. He forced himself to sit upright even though it hurt. Old habits were hard to break. "Yes," he replied. She observed him for a long moment before speaking again. "Do you know where you are?" "No," Elias answered honestly. "But I assume I am not free." The alien mother tilted her head slightly. "You assume correctly, but you are also not imprisoned." That confused him. She gestured around the room. "This is a recovery chamber. You were treated." Elias looked down at his hands. The trembling had stopped. His breathing was steady. He felt tired but not broken. "Why?" he asked quietly. The alien mother did not answer right away. Instead, she walked to the far side of the room and activated a screen. Symbols moved across it, records, laws, decisions. "You interfered with an official correction," she said. "You disrupted order." Elias nodded. "Yes." "You accepted consequences meant for another." "Yes." "She was not your responsibility." "No." Her eyes narrowed. "Then explain." The room felt smaller. Elias took a slow breath. She was scared. The alien mother waited, expecting more. "That's all?" she asked. Elias met her gaze. That was enough. Silence followed. In her entire life she had heard explanations based on duty, rank, law, or survival. Never this. She circled him slowly, her footsteps soft. "You humans confuse my people," she said. "You obey when you should resist, and resist when obedience would save you." Elias gave a weak smile. "We're good at bad choices." She stopped in front of him. "Did you expect a reward?" she asked. "No." "Mercy?" "No." "Recognition?" Elias shook his head. "I expected nothing." That answer unsettled her more than defiance ever could. Outside the chamber, whispers had already begun. Aliens spoke quietly among themselves. A human had stood between authority and a child. A human had not begged. A human had not asked for advantage. Rumors spread through corridors and halls of governance. Some called him foolish. Some called him dangerous. Some could not explain him at all. In a different chamber, the alien child sat beside her caretaker. She refused to eat. Her eyes stayed fixed on the door. "He will return," she said softly. The caretaker hesitated. "You cannot know that." "I do," the child replied. When the alien mother returned to her daughter later, she found her awake. "Is he gone?" the child asked immediately. The mother paused. "No." Relief washed over the child's face, her skin brightening. "He was hurt because of me," she said. The mother knelt in front of her. "You did nothing wrong." The child shook her head. "He chose me." That sentence struck deeper than any accusation. Back in the recovery chamber, Elias was given food. Real food, not ration paste. He ate slowly, unsure if this was another test. The alien mother watched him. "You are aware," she said, "that others want you punished." Elias nodded. "They usually do. This time is different." "How?" "Because I saw it," she replied, "and my daughter saw it." Elias set the food aside. "If this is about repayment, don't." Her eyes flickered. "You deny repayment." "I don't want it," he said simply. "Just don't hurt children for not understanding your rules." The alien mother felt a strange pressure in her chest again, that same feeling from the square. She turned away. "You ask for something my people do not give easily," she said. "I know." Days passed. Elias was not returned to the labor camps. He was kept close, observed, studied. Some aliens visited quietly, asking questions they pretended were official. "Why did you do it?" "Would you do it again? Are all humans like this?" Elias always answered the same way. "I don't know, I just did." The alien council grew restless. One elder spoke openly. "This human disrupts order by existing." Another replied, "Order that cannot survive compassion is already weak." The mother listened in silence. She had never challenged the council before. Power came with balance, but now balance felt wrong. Her daughter spent time with Elias under supervision. She asked him endless questions about Earth, about human children, about why humans help strangers. "Because someday," Elias told her gently, "we might be the stranger." That idea spread. Other alien children began asking similar questions. Caretakers struggled to answer. Pressure mounted. Finally, the council summoned the mother. "You protect this human too openly," they accused. "He is under my authority," she replied. "He is human. He is honorable." That word echoed. Honor was ancient, dangerous, binding. "You risk changing perception," the elders warned. "That may already be happening," she answered calmly. That night the mother stood alone, looking out over the city lights. Her world was powerful, efficient, and cold. Humans were weak. Yet one human had shaken her entire structure. She made her decision before dawn. Elias was brought before her one final time. "You saved my daughter," she said. "You changed something in my people." "That wasn't my goal," Elias replied. "I know," she said. "That is why it matters." She stepped closer. "In our oldest laws," she continued, "there is a concept unused for generations, a bond formed not by blood or chains but by honor." Elias felt a quiet tension fill the room. "I will invoke it," she said. "I will claim you." His eyes widened. "Claim me?" "Not as property," she clarified, "as responsibility." The meaning settled slowly. Protection, status, consequence. Around them, history shifted. The alien mother extended her hand. Elias hesitated, then accepted. Far away, humans whispered. Aliens watched, and the galaxy leaned closer, waiting to see what would happen when human compassion was given power instead of punishment. Elias did not understand what would happen next. For days, he had been under the alien mother's watch. He ate at the same table as her daughter. He walked in halls usually forbidden to humans. Yet he felt neither freedom nor fear, only curiosity and exhaustion. The child often followed him, asking endless questions. Sometimes she laughed. Sometimes she simply held his hand, gripping it like it was the only anchor she had in this strange, controlled world. But now the mother summoned him to the central chamber. the heart of alien authority. Elia's steps echoed on smooth floors. Aliens watched him silently as he entered. This room was enormous, filled with statues of leaders from hundreds of cycles. Lights shone from above like soft stars. The council waited, all of them, dozens of elders, officials, and advisors. Their glowing eyes tracked him as if they were weighing his soul. The mother stood at the center. "You are aware why you are here," she said calmly. Elias nodded. "Yes, I am to be judged." "You are to be claimed," she corrected. "By law, by honor." "But judgment is still necessary." The council spoke in unison. "This human is not yours to claim. He is a laborer. He has no rank. He has no right to stand against our orders." The mother's eyes did not leave Elias. "He has rights you have forgotten. He has something you cannot control." A whisper moved through the council chambers, something long absent from the alien world, doubt. Elias cleared his throat. "I don't want to stand against anyone. I just didn't want her to be afraid." Silence fell. A simple answer, yet more powerful than any law or weapon. The eldest counselor stepped forward. "Explain. Why would a human act without fear or reward?" Elias looked around the room. His voice was steady. "Because someone should. Because if no one protects the weak, then who will? Fear and law are nothing without that." The council stared at him. The mother smiled faintly. This was why humans were dangerous, not because of strength or speed, but because of principles they could not abandon. A younger counselor spoke sharply. "This is chaos. If humans act by morality, they disrupt everything. Rules are meaningless." Elias responded simply. "Rules are only meaningful when they protect life, not punish it." The mother nodded. "That is exactly what I said." The chamber erupted with argument. Aliens argued about honor, tradition, and control. Some demanded Elias be returned to punishment. Others quietly considered the implications of a human who would act without self-interest. The child's mother raised her hand. The room fell silent. "Enough," she said. "You have all forgotten what honor truly means. Honor is not rank, it is not power, it is choice, and this human has chosen it." She turned to Elias. "I claim you." The room froze. "Claim me?" Elias whispered. "Yes," she said. "Not as property, not as servant, but as responsibility. You will stay by my side not because I command it, but because honor binds you to this house." A ripple of shock moved through the council. Centuries of tradition shattered quietly. Elias considered it. To some, it would have been terrifying being bound to an alien matron. But Elias understood something they could not. This bond was trust, not chains. "I accept," he said finally. A murmur moved through the crowd. The mother allowed it. She knew they could not comprehend it fully. Outside the chamber, whispers turned into discussion. Aliens spoke of the human's bravery, his choices, and the unusual bond forming between species. The child ran to Elias, throwing her small arms around him. "You're mine now too," she laughed. Elias laughed with her, feeling the weight of days lift slightly from his shoulders. The mother observed them, her gaze softer than anyone had ever seen. For the first time in many cycles, she felt a sense of balance, not imposed by law but by principle. Days turned into weeks. Elias lived among the alien household, learning their ways and teaching them his own. He showed them how humans helped each other, not for reward, not for fear, but because they could. Children followed him as they once followed no one. Caretakers asked him questions about Earth, about fairness, and about compassion. Elders listened, quietly reconsidering old rules. Even the council softened toward him over time. The child's mother noticed how humans inspired loyalty. Not obedience, not fear, but genuine trust. She began holding meetings with Elias at her side, listening to his perspective on fairness and protection. Slowly, the influence of humanity spread beyond her household. Then came the day when she called the council together. She did not announce punishment or law. She simply invited them to witness. Elias stood before them, no guards, no staff, only his humanity and his quiet courage. He spoke softly. I have done nothing extraordinary. I simply acted because it was right. That is what humans do. The council looked uneasy, yet they could not deny it. Every word carried weight beyond their calculations. They had expected defiance, chaos, bargaining. Instead, they found honesty. The mother spoke afterward. From this day forward, humans will not be treated as tools or laborers. They may not demand our recognition, but they will earn our respect. And our children will learn that protecting the weak is strength, not weakness. A wave of realization swept through the chamber. Her words were simple, yet they carried a revolution. Elias looked at the child. She held his hand tightly. Her skin shimmered with excitement. She understood now that humans were different, that sometimes small courage could change worlds. The mother turned to Elias. You may remain here freely. You may leave if you wish. But know this, you have earned something few species ever do, our trust. I will stay, he said, because someone should protect them. Because someone should keep teaching them that being human is not about power, but about courage. The council watched, their glowing eyes revealing thought and wonder. Perhaps humans were not fragile. Perhaps humans were dangerous, not for their strength but for their principles. The child laughed softly, running ahead. Elias followed and the mother walked beside them. Together they moved through the halls, their steps unhurried, their presence quiet but firm. Outside, the sun set over the alien city. Its towers glowed faintly in the fading light, reflecting not only control, but change. Somewhere, the first whispers of a new respect for humans spread among the other species in the galaxy. Tales of courage without fear. Tales of protection without demand. Tales of honor not bound by law but by choice. Elias had done nothing extraordinary. He had only been human, and that was enough.